Good day and welcome to today's episode of Erongo Talk right here in Walvis Bay at Soda King. My name is Adolf Kaure and I'll be your presenter for today. So today is Battery Day and is proudly sponsored by our sponsor for the day, which is Battery Center. So in today's interview, we'll have an interview with the principal of a Private School Swakopmund who goes by the name of Hein Daiber, and he'll be speaking about the school's online mode of teaching, which is PSS Online. I'll also be bringing you the news as well as the weather and tides. So don't move anywhere. We'll be back right after these adverts. And as you can see, I am surrounded by Soda King drinks, which means it is definitely time to wet my tongue and bring you the news for today. So in our first story, the National Union of Namibian Workers, NUNW Erongo branch, called on President Hage Geingob to relieve Leon Schuster from his duties as the Public Enterprises Minister during a petition handover at the Erongo Regional Governor's Office yesterday. So speaking at the occasion, which saw over 20 disgruntled protesters, the NUNW affiliate president, Angula, said that Schuster behaved in a dishonest manner by underrepresenting and deliberately misdirecting the cabinet to take a decision of liquidating Air Namibia. This decision that is tantamount to violation of this decision is tantamount to the violation of the Namibian Constitution on state policy. Leon Schuster made himself untrustable and therefore unfit to hold a public office. In this instance, he has betrayed the mandate bestowed upon him to oversee profitability of state-owned commercial enterprises, which he is now busy ridding of instead. He said as he spoke on behalf of NUNW Secretary General Job Muniaro. So in our second story, the new members of the Scientific Society of Swakopmund, SSS, were recently announced. 3 new members were co-opted, and they were Heinrich Hafeni, as well as Paul Njambula and Michael Vaupel. The committee now consists of Karen Gebhardt, who is the chairperson, Prof. Volker Gretschel, who is the vice chairperson, as well as Michael Vaupel, the treasurer, Dr. Gabi Schneider, as well as Professor Tottemeyer, Karen Butger, Uli Grosser Weitscheder, as well as Heinrich Hafeni and Paul Njambula. All these members promised to take the interest of the SSS to heart and serve the society to the best of their abilities, said Nadine Kotschelt of SSS. So you can catch these stories and so many other more stories on our website, which is erongo.com.na.
With me today is Hein Daiber. He is the principal of Private School Swakopmund in Swakopmund. How are you, Hein?
Oh, well, thanks, Irene.
So, Hein, PSS recently started PSS Online, which is an online learning platform. Where did this idea come from?
You know, we've spoken about this for quite some time, and it's always been a dream. You're looking at the school growing, and then you're thinking, but does one really need a bigger school? Do I really need to add on classrooms to accommodate students? And we said, maybe not. What would happen if we went online? If we could also service people or provide people with tuition or teaching, live streaming or otherwise, in farming communities, that they wouldn't have to leave home. So we've been dreaming about that for about 2 to 3 years, and then came COVID, and we had to. COVID. The economists really say COVID-19 is an accelerator. So not only is it something terrible that has happened, but it's really accelerated many things, and it's accelerated the way that we think about teaching and tuition. So during the time that we had this complete lockdown, our teachers actually continued working, and we started experimenting with various platforms. So unfortunately, we had this great platform which especially our high school was on, which is shared by a number of other of universities, and which is called Moodle, and we basically got everybody going on that more or less. But then last year was really very much a blended kind of approach. We used some of this, some of that, some of the other, but we really came to the bottom line that we needed to do that. So it's a long story, but that's it.
And Hein, obviously nothing comes without its challenges. What were your challenges in making online learning a possibility?
Yes, we had to. Internet is usually a challenge, and you can have unlimited or uncapped internet, but it's like saying, okay, yes, there's a swimming pool, you can have as much water as you want to, but then you've got this little straw and you're sucking at it, and it's terrible. So what we had to do is we had to increase our uploading capacity from 2 meg to 50 meg, and also our downloading capacity, because if more than one person was on the internet, it was just it just sucked everything down to nothing. So that was one of our challenges. Another challenge is obviously the ability of our staff, the ability of students. Another challenge was for the students to find that rhythm, that despite everything else, you need to get up in the morning, and get out of bed and just do it.
Yeah. And Hein, why do you think it's important for us in this age to work with online schooling?
I'm actually, it just basically gives you that ability. But I'm thinking very often the discussions are about the availability of teachers and about quality teachers. So, and well, let's just face it, also teacher remuneration. So is it something, do they get the same as an actuarian? Do they get the same as a geologist at a mine? Or no, they don't. Might have studied the same length of time and maybe even longer, but they don't. So we need to make a plan to duplicate these resources, and especially for people living on farms or small towns where 3 or 4 students will not be able to afford a teacher. So we're looking at that. And we have a number of students from all over Namibia who have now enrolled in our program.
And what do you think are the challenges for students in online learning?
Students, I think it's just a different mindset. They need to get into a routine, into a rhythm, and have that rhythm. And really, there's a particular place in Erongo that that have said, please give us your timetable. We will work according to that timetable. So, because it's always the television as a detractor, or other online things on YouTube are detractors, and the fridge would be a detractor too, if it was me. So, yeah, those are challenges, and obviously. The other challenge is social interaction with other students, and that's why our particular way of doing online is more blended learning, where they have face-to-face sessions or online face-to-face sessions with the teachers, and at the beginning of the year and also the end of each term, we'll invite our online students to come into us and come and chat with us, come and have those lab sessions which they cannot have at home. Come and meet the other students. Let's have a student social, if all those COVID rules allow. And that's what we would like to have different than the normal online where you're just a number and where you just work out of the book.
Yeah. And Hein, why do you think online learning is a better alternative than traditional homeschooling?
Homeschooling is not equal to homeschooling, so that's very difficult for me to answer. I think you have extremely dedicated parents that give their children all the love that they can and really have good routines for the children. But maybe at the end of the day, some challenges there are that, when are you a teacher and when are you the mom or the dad? And the other things are, at a particular point in time, a chemistry teacher might be a better chemistry teacher than the mom who hasn't got a master's degree in chemistry, who hasn't got chemistry 3. So at a point, there might be a point where you need to get a specialist in to explain certain things. And if you don't have the routine, or if you do not have the discipline, that's maybe the difference.
So Hein, you took in your first intake on PSS Online this year. How many students do you currently have?
We've got more than 30 students online. Most of them are high school students, which is actually the reason why we said, okay, let's just stop it. We don't want to compromise on quality. And basically, during this first year, we want to provide good quality, but we want to get it and find our rhythm. It's no use us getting 200 students and they're really drowning us. So let's get, and it's more than 20 high school students at the moment. So that's fine. It's a nice group to work with. And then, so this is why we're having a closing date for high school applications. This coming Friday, but the primary school applications are still open, and so one could still contact Vaida on that, and so that's how many students we have, and we're comfortable with the number. It was quite amazing from which corners of Namibia we actually got responses. It's from Uis to Katima, to Erongo, Tsumeb, Karabub, Buntuk, and I think
Joining me today here is Robert Hanekom, who is the main man here at Soda King Walvis Bay, or Soda King Namibia in Walvis Bay. How are you today, Robert?
Thank you. Well, and yourself?
No, I'm good. It's so lovely to have our own proudly Namibian product all the way here in Walvis Bay. Now, Robert, please tell us, who is Soda King and what services do you offer?
Okay, Soda King was started about 24 years ago. It's a well-known franchise.
Yes.
They developed a unique range of flavors through tried and tested recipes. Our brands include the Soda King range, which is the full sugar range, the Tip Top range, which is the artificial sweetener range, and then we've got our water range, which we call Aqua King.
Aha, nice. So you do a lot of things here. Now, since you are in the cool drink industry, what would you say makes Soda Kings different compared to the rest?
Well, as you know, most of our soft drinks are imported from South Africa at great cost, with the exception of Coca-Cola, of course. By producing locally, we can be cost competitive with those other brands. We're empowering our people to buy locally, and we can offer to the market at a very cost competitive price.
Yes, no, definitely. It was so lovely walking through here. It's amazing, the process and everything. Now, just in your opinion, as a business owner, why do you think it's so important to have our own and proudly Namibian products on our shelves?
Well, it's definitely a boost for our economy. We are creating jobs. We in turn, and those people can create a better life for their families. We're definitely assisting the economy and being less reliant on imports.
Yes, no, definitely. That is so true. Now tell me, if you had to convince someone to buy Soda King, what would you tell them?
Well, there's only one way, and that's to taste the product.
Yes, definitely.
We've produced hundreds of samples and distributed hundreds of samples of bottles throughout Namibia to both retailers and local consumers. All are very impressed with our quality and our taste. So obviously I would like to welcome all people to visit our Facebook page, leave a comment on what your experience are, favorite flavor.
Yes.
If you like it, we would like to know it. If you don't like, we also would like to know it.
Yes, constructive criticism at the end of the day.
Correct.
Now, where can we find Soda King and all of its flavors and everything?
Well, basically every town in Namibia, we sell to the wholesale groups, the retailers. We've got quite a few retailers on board, and there's more coming as we speak. So if you don't find it, let us know. We'll definitely make a plan and get it there.
There we go. No, I must say thank you, Robert. Thank you for speaking to us today, and thank you for taking us through your factory to see what is happening here at Soda King.
Thank you very much.
It is now time for the weather forecast in the major towns of the Erongo region. That brings us to the end of today's episode of Erongo Talk. And all those news stories, by the way, that I read during the news, you can catch them on our website, which is www.erongo.com.na. I repeat, it's erongo.com.na. We also have a WhatsApp number, which is 0811 7000. I repeat, 0811 700040, which is also our Telegram number. Yes. So let us also continue to take our measures of COVID-19 very seriously. And on the bright side, life continues despite this COVID-19 and all its regulations. So as well as Erongo Talk, you can also check out all our other NMH programs, which includes a very new program called We Talk, which is really doing amazing there on our Facebook page. We also have NMH at 1 as well as other programs. So before I leave you, let me just pop this nice Soda King drink, and I'll see you tomorrow again. That is at the same time at 12 o'clock.